Hi, my name is George. I recently competed in the SGT submission only, white belt only competition in Perth, which was on the 17th of December 2023. It was my first competition and I had 4 fights. Only recorded 3, but we're just going to go and look through all the ones that I have recorded, see what I did well, see what I could do better, and at the end of it give like a brief summary about what I thought of the whole event and everything like that. So let's get into it.
So this was the first fight of the day, and coming into it I was pretty conflicted because I'd spoken to a couple of different people about pulling guard, and I don't do any wrestling, as you can probably tell. So eventually with this one I did opt to wrestle, and you'll see in a minute it didn't really work in my favour because I did end up starting in bottom position. So here we're just trying to get inside position on each other, and it was pretty intense. It was, a lot of fighting for that inside position, a couple of snap downs, and stuff like that. So it was a battle for the first one. Here I go for that single leg, and there I'm fighting to sort of work my way around the back, but he manages to land on top of me and straight into side control. And so this was a struggle straight away. I was trying to regain half guard, because the half guard was something I've been working on. So I'm just curling up onto my side, get back into turtle here, and then I come back and I managed to get that half guard, but it doesn't really work out too well for me. I've got my head popping out the other side. This was a difficult position for me because I was trying to get the underhook and swing around and take that top position and wrestle up, but he was just heavy on top of me. So I'm trying to get my knees above his legs here, and then I've regained guard. So that was good. And again, you see I'm just trying to go for that underhook, but he just smashes down, gets rid of my half guard, and then the ref resets. So this one was this was a tough game, and first fight in a competition, it's just that adrenaline dump that I really wasn't expecting. Restart here, he's in that side control position again, and I'm trying to push away on his hips, get my knee and regain some kind of guard. And ref's kind of in the way a little bit here, so I can't really tell what he's doing, but I remember him coming down heavy on me. Me there just trying to stay on my side, not let him flatten me out, and almost here I sort of come up, not good enough, and he brings me back down again. Trying to trap him in that quarter guard, just trying to work with it, do anything I can, not let him get me flat on my back again, and pushing away on those hips just to try and give myself some space to regain that guard. Here he was pressing down so hard on my head, I was almost tapped from the pressure of this as well. But I think we're about 3 minutes into this fight now, and I was like, nah, I'm not going to tap to that. That would be the most embarrassing thing. But I was just battling, trying to stay afloat here. But like I said, he's really putting down some heavy pressure here. I can't remember if it was at this point here where he actually started going for the head and arm triangle. No, I don't think it was quite yet. Here I'm still sort of struggling with those legs. I'm trying to catch the heel of his foot and just bring it inside. Almost regain my guard here and sort of push him over. But he's got a really strong squeeze on the head there. So managed to almost sort of get him back over there. And I think he was just laying down all this heavy pressure on me. And I ended up sort of use that upper body control to really sort of swing me back onto my back. He jumps off onto the side here, trying to get a finish on that head and arm triangle, and I've just got the telephone arm defense, and that was enough to give me enough room to breathe. And seeing what he's doing here, he's obviously gone for that side control, finish of the head and arm choke, but I feel like it always gives it your back, and that's exactly what I tried to go for here. He's jumped back into mount again, back onto the side control, and I'm just defending it, trying to do what I can to sort of take the back. And I think eventually here I do get it. So again, he's just struggling, and I can hear his coach as well saying, hips to the ground, hips to the ground, hips to the ground. And I remember thinking to myself, if he does go hip to the ground, then that's going to be very painful for me. Like, and then I might tap it, but for whatever reason he didn't. I don't know if he didn't hear his coach or what. But there. So I get my hook in, and I managed to slip out the back of him, and I should have just cranked that neck like straight away, but I let him get out, and he's framing against me here, trying to get my hips on top, clear away the frames, and boom, straight into top mount. And now here was my time to really go to work and put some work in. I could feel him sort of flailing around underneath me, but I felt pretty in control here. But yeah, unfortunately, there's the bag, and the ref stops. First one was a draw. So yeah, this one was the second fight. Now, there is a bit of a height discrepancy with this one, which was kind of an interesting dynamic with it. When we were wrestling, I was kind of pushing into his chest a bit more, which I think made it a bit easier for him to get sort of collar ties and stuff like that. And it was a bit easier for him to get sort of inside position as well. But like I said, I don't wrestle, and my plan going into it in the first place was just to pull guard. So not really sure what my plan was going to be here. And you can kind of see he has a weird takedown there. I didn't watch this clip a couple of times, and I can't really work out what that takedown was. I think he might have hit the back of my foot and then managed to get me down that way. And as soon as he gets down, he gets me in sort of top mount, and you can see he's sort of trying to go for my hand there. He's pressing down with his shoulder pretty hard. So same with the last guy, just trying to do the telephone defense, putting that arm next to my ear, and work something out from there. But you can see he's grabbing it, and then grabbing it with his other hand and trying to get that sort of Kimura Americana. I think it's Americana from that position. But I grab him with the other hand, manage to defend, and work on trying to get that escape going again, but to no avail. And we're cycling through the same thing again. He grabs it, tries to twist it, and I'm managing to fight it off with my other hand. And it's all coming from me framing on his head, on his neck, which I do realise now that I shouldn't really be focusing on. But he was just putting that heavy pressure on with his shoulder, so I needed some relief there. Here I am, sort of turning to my side, trying to get that arm out, or get a leg out, so I can kind of work on some of the sort of position. I managed to turn out here, and he almost gets my arm into an armbar here, but I managed to take a leg over the top and pull it out gradually. But I'm absolutely knackered here. Like I said in the first fight, it was really, really tough, and we end up kind of in this weird position where I'm on his back, but nothing coming from it. And he manages to turn. I try and get back into this half guard position, but nothing coming from it there. And I need to lock up those legs. You can see those legs are wide open, and you can see in a minute, I think he takes advantage of that. I do lock it in here and open it up, and he steps out straight into side control. So I need to work on that for sure. But again, here I'm just trying to defend the arms and frame against him and turn into him. He does take the mount, and I've got one arm in, one arm out now, so I'm thinking, okay, what's he going to do? I try and invert, pat the legs around, but that armbar was tight. Like, he really put a lot into that. So, good on him. This third fight was, another difficult one. This guy had taken down, I think, everyone else in the field, submitted all of them, and it was my last fight of the day. So I was pretty knackered, and I knew this guy was going to be good. So, he takes me down straight away, and I do manage to land in close guard. So I'm just trying to work my legs up his back to stop him from posturing up. And but he was tight, his arms were sort of really solid in. So I was trying to weave my hands in or try and get something around his neck just to try and get some sort of attack going, work my way up his back. But yeah, he was just tight as. And yeah, gets up here. And I try and go for that, you know, push the legs back and pull his feet in, but no good. Lands in this position where he's caught my head and my top leg. And I try and spin out of it, frame against his hips, walks around into that side control position. I'm trying to bring my legs around, but he keeps walking around and comes in here, grabs my arm. I am defending it, but he just does the kind of shotgun pull in, pull around, and I tap. So, yeah, not much to be said there.
Okay, so I'm just filming this last bit in my car because my housemates came home. So, yeah. But anyway, just, you know, reflecting on that competition, I mean, yeah, there was one more fight as well that I had that I didn't show because we didn't get any recording of it, but it was a boring fight anyway. It was, never went to ground, and we just sort of stood up the whole time. Me and him were sort of both absolutely knackered. So, yeah, you're not missing much not seeing that anyway. But just reflecting on the whole thing, I would say, you know, I wish I could have done better. I think the things that caught me off guard was the wrestling and the gas tank. You know, I really, you know, I can do an open mat and I'm rolling for an hour with 5-6 guys with only a minute break sort of thing. But when you're in that competition and it's just that adrenaline dump, then of course you're going to end up, you know, expelling a lot more energy and feeling a lot more knackered. So, but at least I can expect that for next time. And obviously I'm going to work on my wrestling and, you know, generally my whole jiu-jitsu game as well. I think, you know, in those bottom positions, I was in the 88.5 to 91.5 weight division. And, you know, once you're underneath someone of that weight, it's hard to work your way on top. So, yeah, I think I need to sort of consider that. I think I might drop down a weight division next time. And, yeah, but I am thankful that I got the opportunity to do it. You know, I started jiu-jitsu in January of 2023, and then December of the same year I was competing. So I'm so grateful for the fact that, you know, I worked my way and I got there and I competed and I just got involved. And yes, I wish I could have done better, but I'm also grateful for that because it makes me realize that, you know, like it gives me that drive to go, okay, next time I'm going to really show what I've got sort of thing. So I think I'm going to compete again in March, April, May sort of time, work on my wrestling between now and then, and yeah, go from there and just see what we do. But if you have any feedback for me or anything that you want to add, please do so in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And yeah, thanks very much for watching my video.